Hello dear students, let us continue the previous question paper, that is Preparatory exam 2021. We have completed the section A and section B question with answer. Let us solve the next questions which is related to section C, that is 4 marks questions. Total number of questions will be 10. From that we have to answer any 7. So we have already completed in previous class section A and section B question with answers. So let us study in today's class the section C. So in section C there will be the total 10 questions. Among this we have to answer any 7. Each question carries 4 marks. So first question, that is 25th question in section C. State the importance of management with any 4 points. So we have to explain the importance of management with any 4 points. So let us see. 4 importance of management are: management helps in achieving group goals, management increases efficiency, management creates a dynamic organization, management helps in achieving personal objectives. So these are the 4 important management importance. So management in every business organization, we have come to know the main important concept, that is management. To handle all the activities, the management plays a very important role. So management helps in achieving group goals. In every business organization, the main objective is to achieving the goals, which is helpful with the help of management. The task of a manager is to give a common direction to the individual effort in achieving the overall goal of the organization. With the help of management, whatever the group activities is to be done, the main objective is to reach the goal of the organization, which is helpful with the help of management. This is one of the importance. And management increases the efficiency. Obviously, management plays a very vital role. The aim of manager is to reducing the cost and increasing the productivity, which is helpful with the help of functions of management. It will be planning, organizing, directing, staffing and controlling. With these activities of the organization, the management helps to increase the efficiency of the organization. This is second importance of management. And management creates a dynamic organization. In every business organization, the function of environment where the constantly changes takes place. It is generally seen that individuals in an organization changes is maybe taken place from familiar. The environment changes as a newer or any challenging one. If the environment takes place, the management creates a dynamic organization. And management helps in achieving personal objectives. The management goal is to reach the objective of the organization, not only of the organization, but also it helps the focusing on the individual objective of the persons. So manager motivates the employees and leads the team to make the development of an individual member to achieve the personal goals while contributing to the overall organizational objectives. So with the help of the organization objectives, the individual development is also made by the management. So these are the 4 importance of management. One, that is management helps in achieving group goals. Then management increases efficiency. Management creates a dynamic organization, and also management helps in achieving personal objectives. So these are the 4 importance of management. And next, that is next question, that is management is an art. Explain. So management is an art, science and profession. So in this question they have asked only about the management as an art. So what is art? Art is the skillful and personal application to existing knowledge to achieve desired result. So it can be acquired through study, observation and experience. Since art is concerned with personal application of knowledge, some kind of ingenuity and creativity is required to practice the basic principles learnt. So here we can say that management is an art. The main important thing is to be acquired through study, observation and experience, which helps to say as a management as an art. The some of the basic features we can see here: existence of theoretical knowledge, personalized application based on practice and creativity. So these are the three important features, basic features to say as a management as an art. So when management is to be said as an art, some of the criteria is to be considered. We can see a successful manager practices the art of management in the day-to-day job of managing an enterprise, which is based on three aspects, that is study, observation and experience. So these are the three important concepts which the manager makes a successful. There is a lot of literature available in various areas of management like marketing, finance and human resource, which the manager has to specialize in. There is existence of theoretical knowledge. So here we can say management as an art. Why? Because the management skills is to be based on his study, observation, experience. And the management takes place in various areas where the successful manager practices and shows his skills as an art, as a theoretical knowledge. And there are various theories of management as propounded by many management thinkers, which prescribes certain various principles. A manager applies these scientific methods and body of knowledge to given situation, an issue or a problem in his own unique manner. So another point, that is management as an art. We already know in management there are various theories are to be made. So as the manager applies the methods or principles to know the knowledge or the skill of the particular activity or the problem, how to solve them. The skill of solving the problem is called as, or we can say as a management as an art. And a manager applies this acquired knowledge in a personalized and skillful manner in the light of the relatives of a given situation. He is involved in the activities of the organization, studies critical situations, and formulates his own theories for use in a given situation. So, if a manager having the knowledge and a skill to handle the situations, the own theories is to be applicable to solve the problems, that we can say as a management is an art. So these are the some of the criteria that we can help to prove as a management as an art. So for 4 marks we have to explain these 3 points to prove as a management is an art. Next, that is explain the principles of management, which is contributed by the F.W. Taylor. So there are principles of management is to be framed by two great persons, that is F.W. Taylor and Henry Fayol. So in this question they have mentioned the principles of management which is contributed by the F.W. Taylor. So let us see the important four principles of management by Taylor. First one, that is science not ruled by thumb. Second principle, harmony not discard. Third principle, cooperation not individualism. Fourth, development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. So these are the four principles of management which is contributed by the Taylor. So first principle, that science is not a rule of thumb. Taylor believed that there was only one best method to maximize efficiency. One method should be developed through study and analysis. It should substitute rule of thumb. Throughout the organization, scientific method is involved. Investigation of traditional methods through work study, unifying the best practices and developing a standard method. So first principle of Taylor, he says that science not rule of thumb. So whatever the activities are to be done in the business organization, the method should be applicable to make the development with the help of studying and analyzing the activities. That should be substituted as a rule of thumb. And here in organization, the scientific methods are to be involved to make the comparison of traditional methods through work study, and some of the standard method is to be applicable. Second principle, that is harmony not discord. So according to Taylor, he says that one of the principle that a complete harmony between the management and the workers. So there should be a good communication between the management and workers. Both should realize that each one is important. So they have to come to know that management is also important and workers also important. So according to Taylor, he says that complete mental revolution on the part of both management and workers should transfer their thinking. So their idea should be shared each other in the organization. This is one of the principle. The next third principle, that is cooperation not individualism. According to Taylor, he says that one of the principle in business organization, cooperation is very important in every business organization. So cooperation between the labor and the management should be takes place in business organization. We should not consider any individualism. So this principle states that competition should be replaced by cooperation. This is very important. Competition should be replaced by cooperation. So here both means management and labor should realize that each should having the equal importance in business organization, and they have to take the decisions with a confidence. This is one of the important principle. And next, that is development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. So according to Taylor, he says that one of the principle that the person should be scientifically selected. Then work assigned should suit her physical, mental, intellectual capabilities. To increase the efficiency, they should be given the required training. So, according to Taylor, he says that if the organization focus to increase the efficiency, then they have to provide the training for the required persons. The efficient employees would produce more and earn more. This will ensure their greatest efficiency and prosperity for both company and workers. So according to Taylor, he says that to increase the efficiency, to increase the growth, to make the development of the business, they have to give the training for the required person, and it helps to make the greatest efficiency and prosperity for both the company and workers. So these are the four important principles of management which is contributed by the F.W. Taylor. So next question, that is, explain any 4 points to explain how important the understanding of business environment is to the managers. So how the business environment is more important to the managers. So there are important 4 points. Let us see. So business environment enables the firm to identify the opportunities and getting the first more advantage. And second, business environment helps the firms to identify the threats and early warning signals. It helps in tapping useful resources. It helps in coping with rapid changes. So these are the four important that helps to understand the business environment. So business environment helps the firm to identify the opportunities. So in every business organization, there will be opportunities which is more helpful to make the development of the organization, which is helpful with the help of business environment. When environment provides the numerous opportunities for the business to make the success, the identification of the opportunities helps the organization or enterprises to exploit them instead of losing them. So with the help of environment, the opportunities are to be used. Next, it helps the firm to identify the threats and early warning signals. In business organization, with the help of external environment, the threats are handled by the firms and opportunities. Environment happens to be the source of many threats. Environment awareness can help managers to identify the various disturbances arises in the business organization. So environmental awareness helps the organization. Next, business environment helps in tapping useful resources. In every business organization, with the help of environment, the resources are to be utilized in a proper way. A business enterprise assembles various resources like finance resources, machines, raw materials, power and water, labor, etc. So these resources are to be applicable in a correct manner with the help of environment. And next importance, that is, it helps in coping with rapid changes. If the business environment changes, then the increasing dynamic where the changes are taking place at a fast pace. It is not the fact of change itself that is so important as the pace of change. Suppose in a business organization, if the changes are needed to take place in the organization, then it is helpful with the help of environment. So these are the four importance of business environment, which is most important to understand by the managers. The next question, that is, explain any four limitations of planning. So planning is one of the function, that is the first function of management. So here we can say four limitations of planning. Planning is having advantages also and some of the limitations. So first one, that is, planning leads to rigidity. First limitation. Then planning may not work in a dynamic environment. Then planning reduces creativity. And fourth, planning involves huge cost. So these are the four limitations of planning. So first one, that is, planning leads to rigidity. In every business organization, a plan is to be defined to reach the goal of the organization. The planning is made because of to achieve the goal of the firm. These plans are decided the future course of action and managers may not be in a position to change it. If the organization frame some plans to reach the objective, but the managers are not having the authority to take the changes in them, in that situation it plays as a limitation because managers needs to be given some flexibility to be able to make the changes in the circumstances. If does not happen the changes, then it plays a limitation. Next, planning may not work in dynamic environment. Yes, why? Because the business environment is dynamic. Nothing is constant. So in that situation, the environment may take place or environment may take the changes. It may be the economic, political, physical, legal, social, like this. The dimensions may take place. In that situation, planning does not take any decisions or as per the plan, the activities are to be not done. So it becomes difficult to accurate access for future trends in the environment. If the economic policies are modified or political conditions in the country are not stable, in that situation we can say as a planning may not work in a dynamic environment. So this is one of the limitation. Next, that is planning reduces creativity. Why the planning reduces the creativity? Because if the top level management is going to make the plan, then middle level management will not take any decisions or not having any authority to take the decisions even though the low level management. So only the planning activities are to be focused from the top level management. Then the middle management and other decision makers neither get the idea of the plan or to take any decisions. So most of the time employees do not even attempt to formulate plans. Planning is a way reduces the creativity and the people tend to think along with the same lines as others. So there is nothing new or innovative. So there is no any creativity takes place in the planning. So this is one of the limitation. And next, that is planning involves huge cost. Obviously. Why? Because to make the plan, the cost is to be incurred. Because the business organization, there may be terms or in terms of time or money, the expenses are to be incurred. For example, checking accuracy of facts may involve lot of time. So if the lot of time is to be consumed, it is also one type of expenditures, and the cost incurred to justify the benefits for the plans is one of the demerit. There are number of incidental cost as well, like expenses, or if they have invited the professional experts to make the or preliminary investigations to find out the validity of the plan. So for these situations, the expenditures or cost is to be incurred in the business organization. So this is one of the limitation. So here the planning having the 4 limitations, that is planning leads to rigidity, planning may not work in a dynamic environment, planning reduces creativity, then planning involves huge cost. Next one, that is distinguish between formal and informal organization. So this question is asked for 4 marks. So 4 differences are sufficient to answer the question. So first one, that is meaning. On the basis of meaning, the formal organization is a structure of authority relationships created by the management. Informal organization is a network of social relationships arising out of interaction among employees. The first difference is formal organization is based on the structure of authority which is created by the management, whereas informal organization is a social network relationship which is interaction among the employees. And formal organization arises as a result of company rules and policies, but in informal organization the result of social interaction. And formal organization having the authority which arises by the virtue of position in management. Informal organization arises out of personal qualities. And formal organization is directed by the rules, whereas informal organization there is no set behavior pattern. So these are the 4 difference between formal and informal organization. And next, how does training and development of employees benefited the organization? Let us see here. The organization having the benefits related to by providing training and development. How the training and development makes the benefit to the organization. So let us see here. In business organization, if the organization provides a training to the employees, then how it is benefited to the organization? So first one, that is training is a systematic learning, always better than hit and trial methods which lead to wastage of efforts and money. So here, by providing the training and development to the employees, so training, it is one of the systematic learning which is helpful to get the knowledge to the employees to make the activities in a easy way. So it is helpful to the organization to increase the efforts and the money. And it enhances employee productivity both in terms of quantity and quality, leading to higher profits. So training and development makes a benefit to the organization by increasing the quality and quantity and to make the higher profits. Next, training equips the future manager who can take over in case of emergency. So training and development makes the benefited to the organization by acquiring the future manager in an existing employees. Next, training increases employee morale and reduces absenteeism and employee turnover. So with the help of training, the interest of an employee increases, and also it increases the regularity of an employee. It means it reduces the absenteeism. And next, training and development is benefited to the organization by providing the training to the employees. It helps to obtaining the effective response to fast changing environment. It may be the technological or economical. So these are the points which are related to training and development of employees which is benefited to the organization. And next, that is briefly explain any 4 semantic barriers to communication. So semantic barriers is nothing but what we can say like difficulties arises on the moment of communication. So first one, that is badly expressed message, symbols with different meaning, faulty translation, unclarified assumption. So these are the 4 semantic barriers of communication. So first one, that is badly expressed message. Sometimes intended meaning may not be conveyed by a manager to his subordinates. These badly expressed messages may be an account of inadequate vocabulary, usage of wrong words, omission of needed words, etc. If the communication is made in a bad expression, that is one of the semantic barriers. Next, symbols with different meaning. If the word is having the several meaning where the receiver has to perceive one such meaning for the word used by the communicator. If the wrong perception leads to communication problems. So there may be the semantic barrier to communication by symbols with different meanings. Faulty translation. While communicating the information, if the receiver is not able to understand the language, the translator should have a skill to express the words with a meaningful. Suppose the translator is not able to translate the message with a prescribed language, then it can be one of the semantic barriers. Next, unclarified assumptions. Some communications may have certain assumptions which are subject to different interpretations. For example, if a boss may instruct a subordinate to take care of a guest, if the boss having the meaning that the subordinate should take care of transport, food, accommodation, etc., but the subordinate may interpret that guests should be taken to the hotel with care. So like this, there will be a unclarified assumptions also takes place while communicating. So these are the 4 semantic barriers to communication. It may be the badly expressed message, symbols with different meaning, faulty translation, and unclarified assumptions. And next question, that is, explain briefly the steps involved in controlling process. So controlling is the last function of management. So we already know the functions of management, that is planning, organizing, directing, staffing, and controlling. So here controlling process having the steps that how the organization is to be handled. So first step, that is setting performance standards. Second, measurement of actual performance. Third, comparing actual performance with standards. Fourth, analyzing deviations. And fifth step, taking corrective actions. So these are the 5 important steps of controlling. In first step, the business organization has to set up the standards of the organization. Setting performance standards. In first step, the controlling process is going to set some of the standards of the business organization. So why the standards are to be set? Because the standards can be set in both qualitative and as well as quantitative. The standards serve as benchmarks towards which an organization strives to work. The standards means the rules and regulations are to be fixed for the employees to control over the organization. And in second step, the measurement of actual performance. So after completion of the first step, next you have to make the measurement of performance. If the standards are applicable or not. With the help of performance, we have to measure the objective and reliable manner. So there are several techniques for measurement of performance. It includes the observation, sample checking, performance reports, etc. So we have to make the measurement of the standards. And next, comparison with actual performance with standards. First you are going to fix the standards, then you have to make the measurement. So next you have to make the comparison of both standards and performance. So in this step, it involves the comparison of actual performance with the standards. It helps the comparison becomes easier when the standards are set in a quantitative terms to identify the actual result of the standards. So you have to make the comparison. So after comparing the performance with standards, in fourth step, we have to analyze the deviations. If the mistakes arises while comparing, that you have to analyze it. Some deviation in performance can be expected in all activities. Therefore, important to determine the acceptable range of deviations. After analyzing the deviations, then you have to taking corrective action. In final step, the controlling process is taking the corrective action. No corrective action is required when the deviations are within expected limits. If the deviations are in a limited, then there is no necessity to take the action. If the deviations are more, then you have to take the corrective actions. So these are the 5 important steps which is involved in controlling process. One, that is setting performance standards, measurement of actual performance, comparing actual performance with standards, analyzing deviations, then taking corrective actions. So these are the 5 important steps. And next, that is explain with any 4 points the importance of financial planning. So this is the last question of your section C of 4 marks. So some of the importance of financial planning are: financial planning helps in forecasting what may happen in future under different business situations. By doing so, it helps the firms to face the eventual situation in a better way. In other words, we can say that it makes the firm better prepared to face the future. So financial planning is more helpful to the business organization to face the problems for the future, and it helps to solve the problems in a particular situation in a better way. So this is one of the importance. And next, financial planning helps in avoiding business shocks and surprise, and it helps the company in preparing for the future. And next, business, financial planning helps in coordinating various business functions, for example, sales and production functions, by providing clear policies and procedures. So if the financial planning is good, then it helpful to the business functions. And next, another importance of financial planning, that is detailed plans of action prepared under financial planning reduces wastage, duplication of efforts, and gaps in planning. If the planning is good related to financial activities, then it is helpful to reduce the wastage of the business. It reduces the expenditures, wastage, or any duplications, gaps in the planning, which is helpful to the business organization. So these are the 4 important points of the importance of financial planning. So students, today we have completed the section C part of your preparatory examination question paper. So in last class we have completed the 1 marks questions and 2 marks question with answers of preparatory question paper 2021. So here in next class, let us continue with the 8 marks questions, that is on section D. So total questions, how much will be there? In that, how much answers you have to write for 8 marks questions. In today's class, we have completed section C. In next class, let us see section D. Thank you.